Section play has begun for both of these teams and all across the WPIALs as it's the beginning of what will be the most important matches of the season for both of these teams. Welcome you to the Henry J. Furry Complex here on the campus of Gateway High School as it's WPIAL Section 3A matches as the Franklin Regional Panthers take on the Gateway Gators here on Gateway Gators Productions. Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Spencer Witt.
And the senior, number 29, Hadley.
Gateway with an 0-3 record, 0-2 in section play, but they have fought in both of their section matches, a 3-2 loss versus Indiana and a 3-2 loss versus Greensburg-Salem. As the Gateway Gators, after dropping in the WPIAL first round last year to Armstrong, are trying to get back into the playoffs with a new head coach this season. The other side for Franklin Regional, team that did not qualify for the WPIALs last season, looking to bounce back with a 1-2 record so far in section play. A 3-1 win over McKeesport on September 3rd. They've dropped their last two matches against Indiana and Greensburg-Salem, respectfully as well, although the Panthers have taken a set, at least one set, in both of those matches.
Number 4, senior,
Gators getting their starting lineups announced here. As once again,
number 5,
just getting started with section play. Gateway in 3A Section 5, Gateway and Franklin Regional in 3A Section 5. We'll talk about that a little bit later on here in the broadcast. Kind of a new section for the Gators.
Number 10, a senior.
Things have been moved around a little bit.
Number 7,
as the Gators getting their starting lineups mentioned as well. New head coach for Gateway, Erica Bosh.
Number 11,
for the Gators.
Bosh,
her first season as a head coach, has helped out here and there among other teams and clubs.
Number 13, a sophomore, Lydia DePalma.
Her first crack as a head coach for the Gators.
Junior, Mila Hawthorne.
Keystone Oaks and Pitt Greensburg graduate.
Number 22, a sophomore.
Coached at Pitt Greensburg after graduating from there. Also coached in some club teams as well.
Number 25, a senior, Jolena Estremera. And number 27, a senior, Anastasia Lowry.
As the starting lineup's getting announced, and I believe a large portion of them being seniors for Gateway. They have a bunch of seniors on this Gators roster. 8 seniors on the roster for the Gators. Franklin Regional on the other side only has 3 seniors. A large amount of sophomores on the Franklin Regional Panthers team. And getting underway a little bit earlier, not too earlier though, about 10 minutes prior to expected time. The JV side ended a little early between Gateway and Franklin Regional. I believe Franklin Regional won the JV side. Congratulations to the Panthers on the JV side of things. I argue it every single time that teams are built through junior varsity sports, in the sense that if those teams can figure things out and can play well together as a junior varsity squad, and then you add in the players that have already gotten themselves to the varsity level, once those players move up as well, it can always be a dangerous mix. So it's something that I always say is so important in WPIAL sports, is winning in the matches that technically, from a record standpoint, don't matter, but they matter so much to the development of the programs, and this matters to the development and to the wins and loss categories in section play. And it will be Gateway who will serve first. Joanna Miller back to serve for the Gators. Gets the signal from the referee. We're underway here on Gateway Gators Productions. Passed up by Franklin Regional. The libero sending it over. Maria Piriano for Franklin Regional. Nice swing from her in the back row. And back to serve for Franklin Regional, Hadley Rogelski. Passed up by Gateway, pushed over and dropped right in. Nice placement from Trinity Stevenson for the Gators. Stevenson's earned herself the serve. Last volleyball broadcast we had here was against Indiana back on September 3rd, and Gateway, after dropping the first 2 sets, battled back against the Indians as this one kept alive by Franklin Regional. It was Indiana that did take the match, however, in that 5th set. And that one too far, and no touch, and a point for Franklin Regional. Substitutions for the Panthers. Allison Keefe will come in the front row. Peyton Stosnick will check in as well, and we'll be back to serve for the Panthers. The junior, the jump serve, passed up by Gateway into the middle. Well, didn't get enough, just the fingertips on it, I should say, to the outside, off of the block, off Stevenson, and back away from everyone. Point for Franklin Regional. Allison Keefe, only a freshman for Franklin Regional. Good swing from her. And Stosnick will serve to the outside. Tipped over from Lydia Blash. And Blash gets the point for Gateway. As the libero checks out for the Gators. Served over, passed up, sent over, and a good placement. Nice touch from the setter. That's Carson Berg. Spelled B-U-R-G-H, the proper way to spell Berg, if anyone asks. And some more substitutions. Jaden Tizarchik will come in for Franklin Regional. And serving this one over was Avery Lamfrom. Back into the air, rolled over off the block, kept alive once, into the outside. Allison Keefe, and that one too far from her. As the libero will check back in, Maria Piriano for Franklin Regional. So they brought Lamfrom in just to serve. Jelena Estremera will serve for Gateway. 4-3 Franklin Regional, passed up. Setter will get to it for the Panthers and bumped over by Keefe. Into the air to the outside, off of the block, punched alive but out of play. Off Carson Berg, and a point for Gateway. Lydia Blash was the one who got the point for the Gators. 4 apiece. Jelena Estremera, senior, serves this one over, off an arm. Someone's got to go get to it. Keefe does. And then Liliana Lemick will send it over into the middle. A net violation, I believe. Yes, it will be on Franklin Regional. It's on 27 for Franklin Regional. Jaden Tizarchik. Tizarchik, the sophomore, into the net, and a point for Gateway. Into the back row, sent over and out of play from Piriano. Not too often you see the ball purposely set to the libero for a swing. But that one looked like it was intended. You could hear the setters yelling jump after setting that ball. Estremera, the setter herself, will serve as well. Passed up into the middle. Tizarchik kept up though. by Gateway to the right side off of the block, or correction, over the block and put right down. Nice placement for Gateway. Ava Sasir, right side hitter, gets the point. Estremera will serve it over in the air. Rolled over off of the block. Nobody there, though, and a point for Franklin Regional. Allison Keefe setting that one off of the blocker. Just dropped where no one could get to it. Served over, off the fingertips and an ace. Carson Berg with the ace. And the setter for Franklin Regional will serve this one over. The float serve, that one to the left side and out of play, and a point for Gateway. 8-6. The Gators up on Franklin Regional. Miscues from Franklin Regional have given Gateway the lead here with a handful of points. Passed up, though, off of the serve. Good pass to the right side, tipped over, and drops in for the point. Another look at Erica Bosh, head coach for Gateway. Allison Keefe will be back to serve. Into the air, to the outside. Cross court, good swing from Trinity Stevenson. Stevenson, a sophomore for the Gators. Paige Robinson will serve, and she gets the ace. It's an ace for Robinson, a senior libero. Off the fingertips of the Franklin Regional player. Miscues on the passing for both of these teams. That one back into the air and kept up. Rolled over, rolled into the net, though. An error from Piriano, and a point for Gateway as they're the first to reach double digits here in this one. They already have 11, actually. I was a point late in saying that. Robinson serve out of bounds. Good eye from Franklin Regional. Let that one go. And the junior will serve for the Panthers. Served over. A couple people calling that out, but I think that was going to stay in. Stevenson plays it smartly. Pushed over into the corner. Good coverage from Blash. That's her ball in the corner, and she got to it. Stevenson bumps it over. Passed up by Ralston to the right side, off of the arms of Rogelski, but kept alive. Another swing, this time in the back row. It's not touched. It's 4 touches anyway, but a block was up there for the Gators, and a point for Gateway. Olivia Miles in the front row for Gateway, the junior. And Joanna Miller, the senior, back to serve. 12-8, served over, drops it in for the ace, off the arm of the libero for Franklin Regional. Couldn't get that one into the air. And a point for Gateway. Served over. Franklin Regional just scrambling, hits off of the screen, or off of the curtains, excuse me. And off of the ceiling. That's a live ball if it hits on your side and stays on your side. And a point for Gateway, 14-8 into the middle. That one off Robinson and drops in. Point for Franklin Regional. Natalia Aguilera, junior for Franklin Regional. Panthers making sure they remember who's back to serve, and it will be Hadley Rogelski. Senior sends this one over, and she gets the ace. Rogalski with the ace, 14-10. And Rogalski back to serve again. Passed up by Stevenson. Sent over by Miles, but back up for Franklin Regional. Blash was there for it, into the middle, pushed over, just enough on it from Arroyo Brown. Miles kept up. Rogalski, Robinson's there for it. One-handed set, put back over and put down by Aurora Brown for Gateway. Good one-handed set for the Gators. Joanna Miller on the set. Served over, but back into the air, into the middle, tipped. Blash gets a piece of it, but it goes awry, and a point for Franklin Regional. Talia Aguilera on that one. Served over for Franklin Regional. Bumped into the air and back up. On the slide. Kept up by Miles. Good block coverage. And sent back over. Pushed into the corner. Played again by the Gators. Blash. Blash drops it in for the point. Lydia Blash. Really good coverage though. Trinity Stevenson off of the block. And also the heads-up play from Franklin Regional was snuffed out by Stevenson deep in the corner. Arroyo Brown will serve. The R2 is talking with the scorer's table, making sure I think they got everything right there. Got really quiet all of a sudden, but Brown will serve. Senior sends this one over, back into the air, will bounce off of the curtain and drops in. Tough bounce for Franklin Regional on a tough serve from Arroyo Brown. Point for the Gators, 17-11. Served over in the air, tight on the net, off of the block, kept alive. That was the setter just trying to throw that one over, and Berg, she drops it over this time, but Blash is there for it. They go back to Blash. Cross court, gets the point. Lydia Blash, the senior, for the point. The timeout taken. Rachel Carter, the head coach of Franklin Regional, will take a timeout. 18-11. Here's the Gators looking for their first victory in section play here in the 2024 season. As you take a look at WPIAL 3A Section 5, Indiana 3-0 with a 3-1 record. They defeated both Franklin Regional and Gateway. So did Greensburg-Salem with a 2-0 record. Derry 2-1. West Mifflin, the Titans, were the last team to make it into the playoffs last season. Got a 1-1 record so far. Franklin Regional, Gateway, McKeesport, technically speaking on the outside looking in, but obviously very early on here in 3A Section 5. Franklin Regional, the 1-2 record. Gateway 0-2, and the Tigers of McKeesport are 0-3 as the Panthers, their one win in section was against McKeesport. Rachel Carter trying to rally the troops here early on in this one. 18-11 score. Victoria Brown will serve. Served over, into the air. And bumped over. No one there for Gateway. Miscommunication as to where that's set. Erica Bosh telling her team, got to talk back and forth. Have to communicate. Stay on the same page with miscues like that Franklin Regional will try and use after the timeout. And the referee is going to go talk to the line judge. And I know why the referee is going to talk to her. It's Rachel Carter talking with the R2. The line judge, one of the JV players for Gateway, never moved out of the way. Technically speaking, they don't have to. However, they should. It's more of a respectful thing. You can get carded on the other team. It doesn't technically guarantee you the point, but a card can be drawn, a yellow or a red card, or a replay if granted. That impedes on the play. Is that point again for Franklin Regional. To the right side, tipped over. Kept into the air to the outside. That one too strong, and a point for Gateway. Avery Lamfrom checks back out after serving. Miles will serve, or Miles will check out, excuse me, and Estremera will serve. Jolina Estremera, younger sister of Michelina, who graduated last year, sends this one over and back into the air. Sent over, great placement. Jolina Estremera dropped in on the setter dump. She's earned herself the serve. Another serve, I should say. 20-13 here in this first set between Gateway and Franklin Regional. Estremera's serve, it's outside the lines. Point for the Panthers. Late substitution. Hadley Rogelski comes back in the front row. She checks in for Liliana Lemick. To the right side. That one I don't think ever got over. Point for Franklin Regional. The arms of Allison Keefe were there to credit her. The 20-15, good year. As number 25, Carson Berg serves. To the outside, that one off the hands awkwardly of Ava Sasir, and a point for Franklin Regional. 20-16, the Panthers hanging around here in this first set. Back-to-back points to bring it within 4. Striking distance as this one kept alive, and it bounces off of the ceiling. I think it went out. Regardless, it would have been a point for Gateway because it hit Franklin Regional, then hit the ceiling on Gateway's side, and then hit down. And Blash will serve to the outside. Rogelski. Blash gets that one up. Played again. Setters just sends it over, and Berg, and Franklin Regional just looked out of system there. It's a back row attack is going to be the call on Franklin Regional. Went out anyway. Served over and passed up to the outside. Rogelski. Blash gets to that one at the net. Still in play, pushed over. Blash was there, Setters out, libero on that one. Rogelski off the block, and the block is down. Ashley Young on the block for Gateway. Trinity Stevenson over there as well. Gateway within 2, and another timeout taken by Franklin Regional, 23-16 here in this one. As once again, both teams looking for a victory in section play. Gateway looking for their first. Franklin Regional looking for their second. Throughout most of 5 sections in 3A volleyball, which I believe is the most. There are 5 sections in 2A, actually. There are a handful of teams. Girls volleyball is one of the most popular sports in terms of the girls' side of things. As we look at WPIAL 3A Section 1, we'll go through all the sections throughout this match. Chartiers Valley, the Colts always a pretty good team, 3-0. Montour, a good start for them, 2-0. Moon Tigers, 1-1. Oakland Catholic is always a solid team. Went to the semis last year, 1-1 record. Trinity Hillers, a 1-2. And West Allegheny and South Fayette at the bottom of the standings. Served over off the net and a point for Gateway. Lydia Blash gets the ace. And now it's set point for Gateway. Blash serves it over. She gets another ace. Back-to-back aces. And a 25-16 Gateway victory here in set number 1. Things went well for the Gators. Franklin Regional will look to respond. I'll step aside for the next 2 sets at least here on Gateway Gators Productions. We'll go back here on Gateway Gators Productions. 25-16 victory for Gateway in set number 1. Hadley Rogelski will be back to serve for the Panthers, who are looking to bounce back in set number 2, and we're underway with the Henry J. Furry Complex on Gateway Gators Productions. I'm Spencer Witt. Good pass from Franklin Regional. Drops it in. Emma Ralston for Franklin Regional. First point goes to the Panthers. Hadley Rogelski to serve. Serves this one too far, and a point for Gateway. There's the coaching staff of Franklin Regional. Rachel Carter, Taylor Solo, and Emma Mull, the assistant coaches for the Panthers. Trinity Stevenson to serve. Back into the air. And back over off of the block, and it's kept alive only momentarily, though. Good play and a good swing from Ralston again for the point. Brings Keefe in the front row. And Peyton Snosnick will serve into the middle, and too much over top of that one for Gateway. Went into the net, and a point for Franklin Regional. It's not in sync, not fully in sync there. Just a little timing was a little bit off, and Snosnick will serve. Served over into the air from Robinson. Outside, Blash rolls it over. Passed up by Piriano. Bumped over, kept up. Pushed over. At the net, drops in. Good placement from Carson Berg. Tips that one over, and a point for Franklin Regional. Served over. Blash rolls it over. Passed up by the server Snosnick to the outside. That one touched by a block. Yes, it was, and there's no help there after Carson Berg asked for it. Liliana Lemick couldn't get to that one. A point for Gateway, 4-2. Gators are still trailing. See how I corrected myself there? Caught myself. Arroya Brown serves. Passed up by Lemack. Into the middle, too far from the swing. They want a touch call. They're not going to get one. Natalia Aguilera looking for a touch, and Arroyo Brown to serve. 4-3 still the lead for Franklin Regional, but Gateway back-to-back points here. Off the tape, but passed up. Miller, so sets out. Someone's got to get there. Blash sends over a free ball to the outside. Keefe rolled over, but kept up by Brown. Blash sends it over. Second ball, and then pushed over by Berg into the corner. Stevenson is there for it. Outside Blash, off the block, out of bounds, pulling the block. And a point for Gateway as they've tied up the second set here. 3 in a row for the Gators. Looking for 3 sets in a row. They've got 1 down, 2 to go here. Still plenty of time as Arroyo Brown will serve. Back into the air, tight on the net, good set, good swing, but kept up by Brown. To the right side, Ava Sasir, and drops that one off of the fingertips of the back row player. Point for Gateway as they've taken the lead. Sasir earns the point. And Brown will serve. Brown serve, playable. To the outside. That's Keefe, and Keefe blocked the net. 4 touches is actually the call. And a point for Gateway. Make that 5 in a row for the Gators. A 6-4 lead. Brown off the arms. Bumped over by Berg. Outside, no touch, or a bad one I should say, from Lydia Blash. Just puts her hand over her mouth. Knew she made a mistake there. Avery Lamfrom will serve for Franklin Regional. Lamfrom serve. Off the fists, back over, overpass, kept up by Stevenson. Nice bump from her. That one off the antenna, though, and a point for Franklin Regional, and back-to-back points for the Panthers. They tie it back up at 6 here in this second set. Lamfrom serve. Stevenson passes it, back to her on a pipe ball, rolled over. Berg pushes it over, back at the net, and won by Franklin Regional. Jaden Tizarchik with the point. Tizarchik, a sophomore for the Panthers. Served over. Back into the air, into the middle. Kept up by Snosnik to the outside. That's Keefe, and Keefe gets the point. 8-6, Franklin Regional. Lamfrom serves. Blair was there for it for Gateway. Lydia DePalma was the one for the Gators. Off of the block, passed up by DePalma. Back set to the right side. Snosnik's there for it, sent over by Berg. Kept alive, but that might have been out regardless. Flash plays it. And Berg gets the point for Franklin Regional. 9-6. Panthers, after giving up 5 in a row, have rallied early in this second set. An overpass that was sent back over by Allison Keefe out of play. New setter for Gateway, or at least that's what the Panthers have been mentioning, and it is Jelena Estremera. Anastasia Lowry in the front row as well for Gateway. Senior on the right side for the Gators, and served over into the middle. Passed up by Estremera. Blash pushes that into the back row, but too far. Good eye And a good call from the bench of Franklin Regional to let that one go. And they're the first to break double digits here in this second set. Served over. No one there for it. It's an ace. Carson Berg with the ace. And a serve over again. That one off of De Palma, and a point for Berg. De Palma tried to get out of it last second, but a roll in the matrix is not in her future. Not able to maneuver out of the way of that one in time, and Berg with the serve. They go back to De Palma, and she passes this one up, though, into the middle. Berg is there for its second ball as the libero. Rolled over. Stevenson on it. De Palma. Estremera, free ball. Passed up by Snoznik into the middle. Tizarchik kept up, though, by Estremera. Rolled over by Gateway. Berg on the set. Rogalski puts it down for Franklin Regional. Look now, but Panthers are looking good in the second set. 13-7 lead. Served again. Rolled over and drops in. Another point for Gateway, but a much needed one from Lydia Blash. To the outside, Rogalski, too far from her. Point for Gateway, 13-9. It's a good score. Those of you who are Pitt fans, those of you who are West Virginia fans, I'm sure you have nightmares thinking about it. Speaking of which, those two will square off in the backyard brawl. Shameless plug on Saturday. Back off of the block and put back down. Ashley Young on the block for Gateway, 13-10. Served over. To the outside, Rogalski. That one too far. Touch call. They're going to get it. Yes, they are. And the right call from the line judge to make that. Currently in a grasshopper pose. Interesting spot from the line judge. Just been standing there. Okay, now she was standing there for a solid minute or two. The line judge makes the right call. And served over into the net, though. From Allison Keefe, and a point for Gateway. Paige Robinson, will serve. One passed up. Kept up by Gateway. Sent over. Piriano plays it to the right side. Rogalski. Robinson right there for it. She spins that one back over to the setter. Rolled over. In play, so played well and smartly by Franklin Regional. Smartly's not a word, I know. Rolled over, and Franklin Regional on it. Berg tips it over, and Berg gets the point for the Panthers. Served over. Into the net. An ace for Franklin Regional. Technically hit off of three players there. 16-11. Piriano serves. Estremera will get to it. Into the middle. Out of sync. Off timing between her and Brown. And a point for Franklin Regional, and Erica Bosh will take her first time out of the evening. 17-11. Panthers with a good start in this second set and have, actually I should say, had a good start. Gateway pulled themselves back, took the lead after a string of points, and then Franklin Regional is starting to run away with it. And while we have them, while we have some time, we'll go over section number 2 of WPIAL 3A. Freeport Yellow Jackets, always a very dominant girls volleyball team with a 1-0 and 3-0 record. The Knights of Knock at 1-0. Mars, the Fighting Planets at 1-0 as well. Highlands 0-1. Hampton and Valley, the Vikings and the Talbots. Hampton is last year's champions in the WPIALs. Defeated North Catholic 3-0 in that one. As the girls and the boys both won WPIAL volleyball last year. As this one sent over, good placement by Estremera on the setter dump. Work on that in practice. The weak spot of the base and release points for Franklin Regional, for really any volleyball rotation and setup. You have that 4 position kind of cheating over, expecting to play the tight angles of the swing from the outside hitters. As this Rogalski into the middle, tipped. Brown drops that one right over the block. Point for Gateway. Back-to-back points, so Erica Bosh has pulled 2 points out of a timeout, and they're looking for a third. Joanna Miller's serve. Piriano to the right side, Rogalski out of play, and miscue from Franklin Regional now. Got to calm things down inside out if you're the Panthers, 17-14. Joanna Miller will serve. Back into the air and miscue again. Natalia Aguilera, if you're gonna go for it, I know it's a middle position where you really don't want to go backwards. You're always told never go backwards, but a free ball is a little bit different. If you're right there, take it. Be aggressive, and aggressive serve for Gateway. Joanna Miller gets an ace, and it's got to be a timeout now for Franklin Regional, right? Rachel Carter is talking with the R2. They're saying that the R2 had mentioned something to the 2 players. And that's why they weren't paying attention for the ace. Now they're going to talk with Carson Berg, the setter and the captain on the team now. No replay. Play resumes. 17-16, passed up to the right side. Angle, tough play, and it's out for Franklin Regional, and Gateway has tied it back up at 17. It was 17-11, Franklin Regional. It's now 17 apiece. Served over, short serve, dropped in for the ace, Joanna Miller. Gateway has taken the lead. And now a timeout will be taken by Rachel Carter. And so a timeout for Franklin Regional, 18-17. Gateway has scored the last handful of points. 7 to be exact, if you're doing the math at home. It was 17-11. Franklin Regional. Gateway had taken a timeout themselves. Taylor Solo, Emma Mall, the assistant coaches for Franklin Regional, just talking things over with the team. You can't feel bad about the spot you're in. You can't put yourself in a bigger hole than you already are. Play it 1 point at a time. This set is far from over at 18-17. As Miller will serve. Good pass, well, not that good of a pass, but it was Berg who was able to get to it. Rogalski sends over a free ball. Miller gets to on the outside. One hand, pushed over. That one's gonna be tough to play, but it will by Blash. Pushed over by Stevenson. I think it's gonna be a double anyway. Yes, it will. And also out of bounds. Point for Franklin Regional, but good effort from Lydia Blash to go get to that one. Over by the fans in front of us. Rogalski in the back row to serve. Rogalski's serve passed up to the outside. Franklin Regional is there for it. Ralston gets the point. Franklin Regional takes the lead back, 19-18. Rogalski with the serve. Back into the air. It's a good bump set from just having to get there by Joanna Miller. To the outside, Ralston. Robinson on the second ball. Blash sends it over. Free ball. Franklin Regional needs to use this. Setter is swinging. Robinson gets an arm on it. Miller on the bump set. Blash. That one too far. Point for Franklin Regional. Carson Berg taking things into her own hands. And now another timeout for Gateway as Franklin Regional 5 points from taking the second set. Here on Gateway Gators Productions. GatewayGatorsProductions.com, your home for all the live streams for Gateway Sports this fall season. We'll take a look at some of the broadcasts upcoming. The football team at Kiski on September 13th, Friday the 13th to be specific. Always going to be a spooky one. Might find some crazy things happening there. Girls soccer will square off on the 16th against Fox Chapel. I'll be on the call for that one, and I'll be on the call for the 19th, boys soccer against Hempfield. And then on 20th of September, Franklin Regional, a team that Gateway has struggled with the last couple of years, will be squaring off here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Football at Armstrong on the 27th, and then girls soccer, football, and boys soccer to round things off in October is Rogalski. Did not get the signal to serve yet from the referee. Now Rogalski will get the serve, and it's an even better one. Rogalski with the ace. And Franklin Regional. The bench is fired up. As Rogalski serve into the net. Service error. But 21-19. Stevenson will serve. Trinity Stevenson serve into the air from the libero, and then rolled over by Berg. Blash gets to that one, set in the middle. Brown kept up, good play to get it back over from Aguilera. Outside Blash, cross court, out of bounds. Blash frustrated with herself, but a 22-19 score. Allison Keefe back in the match and back in the front row. And so is Peyton Snosnick, who will be back to serve. Snosnick serve. Passed up from Robinson. Rolled over at the net. It's going to be a point for the Panthers. I believe Joanna Miller's foot went underneath the line. So 23-19. We have a 23-19 is Franklin Regional into the net. And a point for Gateway. And that quickly. It goes from 23-19 to 23-20. A 3-point difference in this second set. And served over, in for the ace. Aurora Brown with the ace. Where were the seams for Franklin Regional there? Seams left? That's the case. Nozick never went for it. Miscommunication. Served over, back into the air, off the fingertips. Berg gets to it. Outside Keefe off the block, kept up by Keefe. Second ball, miscommunication there. Too many players trying to go for the ball. But they'll regroup now. Keefe will push it over, Stevenson on it. Second ball is Young and dropped in off the fingertips of Lydia Blash, and a point for Gateway, 23-22. Gateway trying to steal a set victory here in set number 2. That's Brown's serve, and that's a playable ball, I believe. That ball was considered live, according to the referees. That could have been a terrible situation. Erica Bosh is saying that it went over past the scorer's table and hit the ceiling. The referee saying that it just hits the ceiling. Did not cross the scorer's table. Ceiling on their own side, live ball. Now the R1 and R2 talking about it. I don't even think Franklin Regional knew that that ball was still live or considered it to be live. Hence, in that case, why that ball just bumped right into the net on a tough angle, though, to be fair. And the referee, you can see, actually putting his hands up saying it's out. So the call actually, from a technical standpoint, is corrected to being out. It's still considered Gateway's point. It was Gateway's point all the way through. That could have been interesting, though, if it went to Franklin Regional. Would they have just called a replay, or if they would have called the point for Gateway? Because there's an argument to be made on both sides, where you call one situation, 9 times out of 10, the ref just says, okay, we'll just replay it instead of just changing the point that drastically. 23 apiece. As Aurora Brown serves. Berg gets to it. Someone's got to get it over, and they do. Backside, Cecere. Nice dig from Franklin Regional. Kept up. Outside, Blash. Blash drops it in for the point. In the middle, nobody there. Set point for the Gators. That was a really good dig, to credit Maria Piriano for the Panthers, but now Gateway at set point, 24-23. Brown serve on set point. Into the middle off of the block. That was Lemick who gets to it, sent over by Berg. To the right side, Cecere. Cecere gets the point. And Gateway at 25-23. Set number 2 victory. It was 17-11 Franklin Regional, and Gateway came back. It was 23-19. But Gateway has brought themselves the second set victory. We'll step aside. Third set between Franklin Regional and Gateway, moments away here on Gateway Gators Productions. Back at it here at Henry J. Furry Complex on the campus of Gateway High School in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. As the Gators taking on the Franklin Regional Panthers here on Gateway Gators Productions. Gateway winning the first 2 sets 25-16, and then the second one, when they were down for a large majority of, fought back to win 25-23. Gateway trying to sweep. Franklin Regional trying to dig themselves out of the hole that they've put themselves in. We're underway for set number 3. As this one playable and in just right on that line for Gateway. Off the tape, drops in. Out of the reach of Carson Berg, and a point for Gateway as Panthers and the Gators, they stay on the same sides. That's something that is that one into the net. Used to have to switch sides after every set, and then you'd switch halfway through the 5th set if you got to the 5th set. But that was something that was pretty much eliminated after 2020 season. And for good reason, you know, not having to move all your stuff and all your things from one bench to the other constantly. I can't stress how many times that one of my teammates would forget their water bottles. In the middle, Arroyo Brown with the point. A kill for the Gators. They had stopped in college volleyball where they'd stopped switching sides. They then brought it back, I believe, 2 years ago. But they kept it in the high school level where you just pick one side and stay on that one. Gateway always staying on the left side of your screen and their opposing team on the right. To the outside, off of the block, put back down by Brown. Arroyo Brown for Gateway. Big presence up front there. 5'11" middle hitter, senior for Gateway. As Stevenson, a sophomore, serving into the middle, over the head of Ella Dyerling. Or correction, look at the wrong roster. Apologies. Over the head of Natalia Aguilera for Franklin Regional, point for Gateway. Sent over. Joanna Miller's there for it. Senior to senior to senior, and they get the point. Miller to Blash to Cecere for the Gators. Stevenson will serve. 5-1 Gateway. Early on in this 3rd set. Played too far from Aguilera. You can see the lips of Rachel Carter saying, "Don't force it." Is this one short? Into the net, though. And frustration from Carson Berg. Franklin Regional's caught in a bad rotation right now. They're just going with the short sets because they're stacked on the left side. They're going with the short serves, I should say, because they're stacked on the left side. As this one bumped over from Franklin Regional and off of the block. Arroyo Brown gets the point. Point for the Gators, an 8-1 lead. Again, Franklin Regional is stacked on their rotation to get that setter over to the right side. Rolled over, kept up. Nice pass from 14, that's Lemke. And a point for Franklin Regional, Emma Ralston on the point. Really good pass, though, from Addison Lemke. 14, who's checking out. As Maya Speranza checking in for the first time. And Snoznik into the net. Mentioned before, a Franklin Regional team, only a handful of seniors on this one. Milena Fischetti, Carson Berg, Hadley Rogelski, the three seniors on Franklin Regional. Berg into the middle, kept up. Berg again. Berg gets the point, using the muscle, willing that one over for Franklin Regional. That brings Jaden Tizarchik back into the match in the front row, and as well as Avery Lamfrom in the back row. Lamfrom serve. Blash. Blash gets the point. Lydia Blash for Gateway, 10-3. Another sub as Lamfrom checks out, and then they have to check Aguilera in momentarily so that way Piriano can come in on the libero position. Anastasia Lowry in the front row for Gateway. Jelena Estremera for the Gators, into the net, and a service error. Carson Berg served too far on that one. Too strong from Berg, 11-4 Gateway. Served over, and it's an ace. Lydia Blash on the ace, and a timeout will be taken by Rachel Carter. And the Gators looking good now, 12-4, looking for their first section victory on the year. And we talk about all the different sections. I believe we run through all but two of them, correct? I don't know if we've done our broadcast or all our graphics. So we got to show them, of course. Lee Schaefer making these fantastic graphics. Ringgold, the Rams at 3-0. Thomas Jefferson was the semifinalists last year, or in the Final Four, I should say, last season. Laurel Highlands 2-0 to 4-0 start for them. Good start for them. Albert Gallatin, the Colonials 1-2. Elizabeth Forward 0-2. Uniontown 0-2, and Bell Vernon at 0-3 as well in Section 3. They 12-4 lead for Gateway. Handful of seniors on this team for the Gators. I'll mention them all. Ava Sasir, Ashley Young, Lydia Blash, Joanna Miller, Paige Robinson, Arroya Brown, Jelena Estremera, Anastasia Lowry, all seniors, and all getting a handful of sets here in this one as one of the seniors, Blash, sends it into the net, and a service error, but a 12-5 as they ice the server. And Maya Speranza will be back to serve. Speranza's serve into the middle for Blash, and that one way too far. Speranza's serve. Off the net, the point for Franklin Regional, so back-to-back points off of the serve from Maya Speranza. The junior gets the point. Another good serve, and just a free ball sent over. Franklin Regional trying to use this to the right side. Rogelski gets the point. Block got to be a little tighter there from Trinity Stevenson. Hits off her arms and just rolls down. Franklin Regional has gotten themselves a handful of points here after the timeout, but the net in favor of Gateway. There's a reason it says Gateway Gators on that net, as Franklin Regional doesn't get the roll. Robinson will serve from one libero to another. And then bumped over by Berg. Into the middle, Brown. To the right side, Rogalski. Rogalski off speed for the point. Hadley Rogalski for Franklin Regional. Back into the air, into the middle. Out of bounds. Point for Franklin Regional. What looked like a runaway early on in this set has now a 3-point difference. As Maria Piriano will serve. Piriano, another good serve, and a good pass there from Stevenson. They'll go back to her. Stevenson off of an arm, and it falls for the point. Just couldn't get enough up in the air for Franklin Regional. Joanna Miller back to serve. Miller serve. Piriano passes up. It's a really good pass. Ralston down the line. Miller, nice play. Stevenson not going to be able to keep that one in and over, but a point for Franklin Regional. Good swing. Emma Ralston on the kill. And Hadley Rogalski will serve. Sent over, no one there from Joanna Miller. Trinity Stevenson serving. Outside. Off the tape, falls in for the point. Well placed and all intended there for Franklin Regional and for Ralston. Ralston back to serve. Maya Speranza in the front row now for the Panthers. Ralston serve. Outside, Blash. Piriano an arm on it. Berg gets the point. In motion, just decides to send it over. The smart play from Carson Berg. 15-13, 2-point difference here in this set. Must win for Franklin Regional. Berg serve, or excuse me, that's Ralston serve, and Ralston gets the ace. Emma Ralston. On the serve into the net. Service error from Ralston, but a good run from her. She'll check out. Snosnik will check in. Brown will serve. Into the middle, off the block. That was from Aguilera to the right side. Cecere off an arm, out of the reach. Just the worst possible touch that could happen there. Just trying to react to it for Franklin Regional. So close, yet so far from the back row there, and a point for Gateway. 17-14 as Arroyo Brown will serve. That's just ace for Brown. Arroyo Brown on the ace. And Brown will serve. 18-14. Another one. Free ball sent over from Lemick. in the air. Piriano gets off the ground and is able to go get to it. Another free ball from Franklin Regional. Gateway working on offense, but now it's Franklin Regional to the outside. Down the line, no touch. For number 23, Maya Speranza. A serve over from Brown. Sent over from Berg, but good coverage from Gateway. Played by Franklin Regional. To the right side, too far, to the outside, excuse me. They're not going to get a touch call. It's the right call. And a point for Gateway. Served by Brown. Snosnik will play it into the net from Berg. And Gateway is cruising now, 21-14, and Rachel Carter will have to take a timeout. And possibly the final timeout here, will be the final timeout actually, in this set for Franklin Regional. And it should bring us the final standings of WPIAL 3A. Section 4, Blackhawk, the Cougars at 4-1. Beaver area, pretty good team last season, 3-3, 1-0 record. Ambridge, 1-0 and 2-3. Central Valley, Newcastle, and Lincoln Park are the teams that fell to Blackhawk, Beaver, and Ambridge so far in this season. It's a pretty cool Central Valley Warriors logo. I've never seen that logo before for them. Again, WPIAL volleyball, one of the largest sports in terms of teams for girls volleyball. Pretty much if you have a school and you have at least 6 girls at your school, you have a volleyball team. As Gateway will be back to serve. 21-14. In the air. To the outside. Down the line. No touch again from Speranza. Speranza's got to get over top of that ball. Has the power on it. Just not timing it. Get her hand over it. Serve 22-14. Make that 23-14. A point for Gateway. And Arroyo Brown will continue to serve. 23-14. Served over again into the air. Rolled off of the net. And played into the crowd of Gateway Gators players where no one was there to put it over. A miscue from from Gateway, but Franklin Regional still alive, barely breathing here in this match. Avery Lamfrom will serve. Served over, back up to the right side. That's Cecere, but a play from Franklin Regional, excuse me. Cecere's there for it. Back to the outside. That's Kaylee Kelman, who was just checked into the match for the first time, the sophomore. Played up as well from Lydia DePalma. Kelman on the outside. Tizarchik. Kelman tips it over and drops it in. Kaylee Kelman, the sophomore. Her first kill of the evening. And it's now match point for Gateway, 24-15. Served over, back into the air. Rolled off the tape. That one too far and out of play. And that'll do it. Gateway gets the victory. Erica Bosh gets her first victory as head coach of the Gators. It's a 3-0 victory for Gateway. 25-16, 25-23, and 25-15. The Gators improved to 1-3 on the year and 1-2 in section play. Franklin Regional drops to 2-4 and 1-3 in this one. Thank you again for tuning in here on this one. Gateway will be taking on Derry on the 17th at 7:30, and it will be Franklin Regional will be taking on West Mifflin on the 17th themselves as well. That'll be it for our entire broadcasting crew. For our producer Adam Gusky, our director Lee Schaefer, and the Gusky and Schaefer family, I'm Spencer Witt. Gateway gets the victory. Erica Bosh gets her first victory as the head coach of the Gators as they win 3-0. Good night, everybody.